What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So today I'm going to do a quick video on Scott's ProVista St Augutine Grass. I get some questions about it here and there, but today I'm going to answer the number one question I get, and that is something that relates to the fact that Scott's ProVista St Augutine Grass is glyphosate tolerant. Let's review here real quick what advantages I see to that, and then answer the question that comes up. So down here in Florida, I have three main invaders that come into my typical Floratam or Palmetto St Augutine grass that I can't get rid of. Those being torpedo grass, wild Bermuda, and signal grass. These three invade St. Augustine lawns, and as far as I know, there is no selective herbicide available to get rid of those three problems in a St. Augustine lawn until now. Remember, a selective herbicide is one that, when applied according to the label directions, will kill unwanted weeds and grasses in your lawn without harming your primary crop, which is in our case, turf grass. In the past, if you had torpedo grass or Bermuda grass invading your St. Augustine, your only choice was to spray it with a non-selective herbicide. In this case, we're talking about glyphosate, which would kill everything, including your good St. Augustine, the torpedo grass, as well as the wild Bermuda. The challenge here is you then have to resod or plug the lawn, and the wild Bermuda or torpedo grass will be back inside of 6 months, and the more it rains, the quicker it'll rage back. Now that I have an alternative, which is this Scott's ProVista that is glyphosate tolerant, I now have a tool in my toolbox that I can use to get rid of these problems, and I especially keep focusing on torpedo grass and wild Bermuda because those are the ones that I have the most problem with in my lawn. Glyphosate does a good job of wiping them out quickly. And then here's the question that always comes up. Okay, Alan, so that's great that you can spray glyphosate and essentially keep your Scott's ProVista St. Augustine grass clean, but what happens if that starts to creep out through crack and crevice? You guys know how St. Augustine grass is. It spreads through stolons, and they are very aggressive. That's what St. Augustine does. That's how it takes ground. That's how it thickens up, and that's how it also helps to compete and keep weeds out of your lawn. But what happens if those stolons creep to places where they're not wanted? So I went ahead and shot a quick video here for you to answer that question. Okay, so here I am back here. This is my backyard ProVista right here, and one of the questions I get a lot is, so if ProVista is glyphosate tolerant, then what do you use to kill it if it, gets into your beds or starts to move around? What do you do if you don't want it to spread? And that's where I'm hoping that you guys will stop thinking about what a weed control does or what a herbicide does and start looking more at chemistry. Because what happens is people end up thinking this is Superman grass. Because it's glyphosate tolerant, they think, oh, well, it must be tolerant of everything then, because they just assume glyphosate is the be-all, end-all herbicide. And that's not the case. It's just a chemistry, and this particular grass type, Scott's ProVista, has been bred to be tolerant of that chemistry. So I'll prove it to you. So this is something I get at Home Depot here. This stuff works wonders on torpedo grass and crack and crevice and everything else. But the active ingredients here are diquat and fluozaphat. Kind of sounds like a bad comedy duo from the 70s, but we're gonna go ahead and have this little section of the ProVista here take one for the team, and hopefully this illustration will help you to think a little bit differently. So here we go, fluozaphat and diquat right here on a ProVista. So here we go. There you go. Come back tomorrow, see what happened. All right, so here we are the next morning. Beautiful out here today. A little cooler in the air, not very humid. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with over here. Oh, would you look at that? I had to take one for the team. This is exactly 24 hours later. Now you can see that my application wasn't thorough. Now I'm sure that as this continues to work, this will die out completely. And I sprayed a little bigger spot than I thought I did, but there you go. Now you know. It's not Superman grass. It's definitely susceptible to a lot of things. In fact, anything that you would spray on Floratam that would harm it will also harm ProVista. The only exception being glyphosate products. It's tolerant to those. So here you go. Here's an update just a few hours later, and you can see it's really working now. The sun's shining on it, and that always helps. So definitely gonna hurt. By the way, I know I'm sloppy here. Okay, I've let things get away from me, but yeah, ugly. So there you go, guys. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope it's clarified some of your questions. I do recommend Scott's ProVista. They actually undersell it. I can tell you that everything that they talk about is correct. It's definitely a deeper, darker green color. It definitely grows slower, whereas when I'm mowing my Floratam every 5 days or so right now, I can get away with mowing the ProVista every 3 weeks. That's not an exaggeration at all. It just doesn't grow that fast. So it's a good slow grower with compact growth, and it stays nice and tight to the ground and is very thick. So with that, I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the lawn.